Welcome everyone. Welcome to this revision where we are going to revise Essay 260. So, sir, Essay 260 talks about what? It talks about communication with TCWG. These board notes you will find on our Telegram channel. Link is in the description. Okay. And along with these concepts, we are also going to cover the questions so that the revision becomes very effective for all of you. So, without much ado, let's begin with this revision. Make sure you like it so that it can reach more students. And yes, stay subscribed to the channel for more such videos. So, Essay 260 talks about communication with TCWG. Now, sir, who are TCWG? Understand, these are the people who keep an eye. They keep a watch that whether the entity's accounts team, that is the management, is properly preparing the financial statements or not. So this is called oversight over the financial reporting process. So they are responsible for keeping the oversight over the financial reporting process. Now, sir, for the listed entities, generally the TCWG is the audit committee which keeps a check on the management that whether it is properly preparing the financial statements or not. For small entities, generally the same people are the management and TCWG, that means the single owner. So the first topic that we cover here is role of a two-way communication. So it says effective two-way communication is important so that both the auditor and TCWG can understand the matters relevant to audit. And when they communicate with each other, it can develop a constructive working relationship between two of them. Now, sir, what are the matters to be understood? It says auditor can obtain the information which is relevant to audit. What is the information relevant to audit? So auditor can understand the entity or environment. Okay, sir. He can identify the source of evidence and information on specific transactions. So for example, let's say I am auditor of a subsidiary company and that subsidiary company is providing the services to the parent company. So TCWG can tell me whatever services are provided, parent company provides the revenue to the subsidiary company. Okay. And these services are billed at 1.5 times the cost. So for this, I can check the agreement. I can check the monthly working which is sent to the parent company. So who is giving all this understanding? TCWG. It is helping me understand the entity environment, sources of evidence and specific transactions between the entity and other entities. Okay. Okay, sir. So auditor can obtain the information relevant to audit. What will TCWG get? TCWG can fulfill the responsibility to oversee financial reporting process, thereby reducing the risk of material misstatement. How? Let's say auditor did the test of control. Now, when he was testing the control, he found some issues. When he will tell the issues to the TCWG, it will punish the management. And when it punish the management, it will reduce the risk of material misstatement. So you can say through auditor, sharing the information, TCWG can fulfill the responsibility to oversee the financial reporting process, thereby reducing the risk of material misstatement. So these 3 points you need to consider. Both can understand the matters relevant to audit. When you communicate with each other, it develops a relationship. Which relationship? Working relationship. Auditor can obtain the information relevant to audit. TCWG can fulfill the responsibility of overseeing the financial reporting process. Clear, everyone? Clear, sir. Then, sir, we understood the objective of the auditor as per essay 260. The objective is very simple. What is the name of the essay? Communicate. So you talk about communicating with TCWG, responsibility of the auditor and planned scope and timing of audit. So you take some information, you give some information. So obtain the information relevant to audit as we covered in the previous topic. Then provide the TCWG with timely observation which will help it oversee the financial reporting process. When you take the information and you give the information. When you take the information, you give the information, it promotes a two-way communication. So these two topics you just need to take an understanding, nothing else to be done. Okay, sir. Then we covered the next point in the book. Significance of communication is done. Auditor objective is done. Then we covered the next topic, matters to be communicated. Sir, what were the matters to be communicated? This is an important topic. Please understand the first 2 points. It says you need to communicate your responsibility for financial statement audit. This responsibility is communicated via the engagement letter. So when you give the engagement letter in essay 210, it mentions the responsibility of auditor as well as the responsibility of the management. So you will say I am responsible for forming and expressing my opinion on financial statement. Okay, sir. If auditor is giving an opinion, that does not reduce the management and TCWG responsibility. It does not relieve the management and TCWG of their responsibility. They still need to do their work. Second thing, you need to communicate your planned scope and timing of audit. So scope and timing of audit means You can assess the TCWG to understand the consequences of your work, discuss whatever risk you have identified, materiality that you have decided, and the areas where you feel you need to do some additional procedure. It will also assist the auditor to understand the entity and environment. This we have already covered how the TCWG helps him. Then, sir, you can communicate the areas of significant risk. What are the areas of significant risk? Sir, complexity of transaction. Whenever there is a complex transaction, that is a significant risk. Then the risk of fraud, significant transactions with related parties, transactions outside normal course of business or unusual in nature, significant economic, accounting and other developments, and lastly, degree of subjectivity in the accounting estimates with wide range of measurement uncertainty. Sir, wide range of uncertainty means, let's say there are two cases where the penalty on the company can be between 5,000 to 15,000, or it can be between 5,000 to 5 lakh. In the first case, company has made a provision of 10,000. Okay. And the actual penalty is, let's say, 8,000. Do you think the risk of material misstatement is high? No, sir. This difference is okay. But in the second case, when the penalty can be 5,000 to 5 lakh, and company has created a provision of 2.5 lakh and the actual penalty is 10,000, here the misstatement is 2.4 lakh. So can I say the risk of material misstatement is more? Yes, sir. So whenever there is a wide range of uncertainty, the risk of material misstatement is higher. That's why it is a significant risk. So degree of subjectivity in the accounting estimates with wide range of uncertainty. So these concepts we are already covered in Inter. So we just did a quick revision. Lastly, always remember, whenever I talk about significant risk in audit, where is the significant risk? Complex fraud. Complex fraud means complexity of transaction, high risk of material misstatement. Are yaar, see, even when you are doing the questions of FRAFM, when it is a complex question, the chances of doing the question wrong are high. Similarly, when it is a complex transaction, risk of material misstatement is high. Okay, sir. So complexity of the transaction. Fraud means F for fraud, R for related party transaction, O for transaction outside normal course of business, which are not at arm's length price. U for unusual transaction, D for significant accounting development, new accounting standard, high risk of material misstatement, and then degree of subjectivity in the estimates having wide range of uncertainty. So whenever the uncertainty is high, risk of material misstatement is high. We will cover this point again in essay 540. Okay. Okay, sir. These 6 points done. So there was no point even in discussing this concept, but because it was written, it was my duty to share this concept with all of you. Now continue with me. So auditor will communicate the significant risk to TCWG, which will help TCWG to understand these matters and why they require special audit focus. Okay. Okay, sir. Don't compromise the effectiveness of audit when TCWG is managing the entity. So if you are communicating the nature and timing of the detailed procedures, that can reduce the effectiveness of audit by making everything too predictable. So don't discuss your audit procedure in detail. Okay? So these points you just need to take a read. Don't worry about it. Now comes the important topic, significant findings from audit. Please tell me, when you are discussing the significant findings, okay, what are you going to share first? Let me take an example. I will explain two cases. You tell me which case is better. I go to the TCWG and start saying, TCWG, your management is very bad. They don't give me evidence on time. They don't give me information. They don't assess the going concern. Bad management, bad management, bad management. Or another option, TCWG, your accounting policy, very appropriate. Your accounting estimate, very reasonable. Your disclosure, very adequate. But your management is very, very bad. Which way do you think is better? Sir, option number 2. So first of all, before telling the difficulties that you face as an audit, tell about the significant qualitative aspects of accounting practices. So this is what you need to do here. Please come to your notes. The first thing that you are going to talk about is something in which TCWG is interested, that is financial reporting process. So you will discuss the significant qualitative aspects of the accounting practices. Accounting practices means accounting policy, accounting estimates and disclosure. Everything which has accounting before. Accounting policy, accounting estimates and disclosure. Then talk about the issues you are facing. Significant difficulties felt during the audit. We are going to cover it in detail. Then you have talked about yourself. You have talked about TCWG. Then talked about the management. Management means unless all the TCWG are managing the entity, discuss the significant matters that you have discussed with the management and the written representations that you are requesting. 3 points done. Matter in which TCWG is interested, your difficulties, management significant matters. Now talk about the main point. Sir, what is the main point? Circumstances that can affect the form and content of audit report. And lastly, any other significant matter, your favorite point, any other significant matter that you feel is significant to financial reporting process. So these are the 5 points that you need to communicate. So see here, significant findings from audit. Auditor views about the qualitative aspects of accounting practices, accounting policy, accounting estimate, disclosure. Then his own point, significant difficulties encountered during audit. Third point, significant matters discussed with the management and written representations taken. Fourth point, form and content of audit report, which circumstances are affecting it. And last point, any other significant matter. Are all these points clear? Yes, sir. If you come to the question bank, question number 1 of the study material is this only. Whenever there is a listed company, auditor is communicating the following matter with TCWG: auditor responsibility, scope and timing, auditor independence. Which matter is not included? Significant findings. So just explain the 5 points that we have just covered right now. Very, very important. Okay? Okay, sir. Now let's discuss the significant difficulties. Let's discuss the examples of significant difficulty. Get ready. Now, sir, let's understand each of these points in detail. So first of all, we are going to begin with significant difficulty, because even on these individual points, ICAI can ask a 5-marker question. Sir, what are the significant difficulty? Relax. These are the problems management is creating for the auditor. Let's understand them first. Management unwillingness to make or extend the going concern assessment. As per SA 570, going concern assessment should be done for 12 months from the balance sheet date. So if the management is not doing the going concern assessment, if it is doing just for 8 months, not for 12 months, it is a significant difficulty. Second point, restrictions on the scope of the auditor. So if restrictions are imposed on the auditor, for example, not allowing to take the confirmation, not allowing to do the inventory count, it is a significant difficulty. Third thing, unavailability of expected information. There is a property on lease for which rent agreement is not available. Significant difficulty. Extensive, unexpected effort to obtain the evidence. Take the field. Extensive, unexpected effort to get the evidence. That means a lot of effort is involved. So auditor is sending the mails, many reminders. Still management is not giving the evidence. Fifth point, significant delay by the management to provide the information. You ask the information today, management gives after 1 month. And lastly, unnecessarily brief time to complete the audit. After giving all the information in a delayed manner, they say that complete the audit by tomorrow. Complete the audit within 2 days. So if they are giving you very less time to complete the audit, it is another significant difficulty. So these are the points you need to consider. Clear? Clear, sir. But sir, all are similar points. All are similar point. So let's take help of the farmer. Sir, what happened? Few years back, farmers did a protest. Do you people remember? Mitron, we are bringing the farmer bill. Mitron, we are taking back the farmer bill. So what happened when 2 farm bills were introduced, farmers did a protest, after which the bills were taken back. So what happened? Farmers created significant difficulties for the people living in Delhi NCR. So they were unwilling farmers. Okay, sir. They had put some restrictions on the borders, because of which there was unavailability of cabs. If I want to go from Noida to Gurgaon, cabs were not available. So what I had to do? Sir, I had to walk for a lot of kilometers. Extensive, unexpected effort, which led to significant delay. And when I reached my office, I got very brief time to complete my work. So these are the keywords you need to remember. Unwilling farmer means unwillingness of the management to make the going concern assessment. Restrictions means restrictions imposed by the management. Unavailability means unavailability of expected information. Then, sir, extensive unexpected effort by the auditor to get the evidence. Significant delay by the management to provide the information and unnecessary brief time to complete the audit. And all these are scope limitations, so may require modification of opinion as per SA 705. Is the flow of the 5-6 points clear? Yes, sir. Very, very easy. Now let's discuss the next point. Significant matters discussed with management. ICI can ask example of these matters also. So let's cover these matters. 5 examples are given. Take 2 sips of water and type in the chat box ready. Everyone, please focus on the board. Okay, let's revise the matters. Significant matters discussed with management. Let's do the matters one by one properly. Business conditions that affect the business plans that can affect risk of material misstatement. For example, the main business of ITC Limited is tobacco products. Government put a ban on tobacco product. Oh, because of which the going concern assessment gets affected and financial statements are still prepared on going concern basis. So this increases the risk of material misstatement. So can I say ban on tobacco product is a business condition which affects the business plan of ITC that leads to a high risk of material misstatement? Yes, sir. Second point, significant events or transactions during the period. So when there is a tobacco product ka ban, whatever factory was producing the tobacco, okay, that factory you will give on lease, and because it is given on lease, you will have to do lesser ka accounting. So can I say giving the factory on lease is a significant transaction during the period? Yes, sir. Third point, concerns about management consultations with other accountants on the accounting and audit matter. So management consultations with other accountants on accounting and audit matter. So when the lease were given, lease details were shared with the accountant and they were asked whether it is a operating lease or finance lease. So accountant said that it is a operating lease, so you should do the operating lease accounting. Next point, discussions during the appointment of the auditor regarding the accounting practices, standards on auditing and fees. So during the appointment, management informs the auditor that our accounting policy is this that we have discussed with you, and then ask the auditor, is the accounting policy fine? So please tell me, you are getting appointed as an auditor, and during the appointment management is asking you whether our accounting policy is fine or not. Sir, we to want money, we to want the appointment, whatever be the policy we will say it is fine, so it will affect the objectivity. So if such type of thing is happening, again you need to inform the TCWG. And last point, it says significant matters on which there is a disagreement with the management unless the matter is resolved by obtaining further information. So let's say there was a lease that we are discussing. Management says it is an operating lease, auditor says it is a finance lease. So if there is a disagreement, you need to discuss it with TCWG. So you can remember all these points in the flow of the topic that I have discussed, that there were business conditions affecting the risk of material misstatement. What happened after that? Sir, they gave the property on lease, that is a significant event or transaction. For this transaction, management took consultation, even discussed with the auditor during the appointment, and lastly, there was a disagreement. Can you people revise the 5-6 points with me? See, if you go on cramming these points, you will forget it either tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and again you will have to put the efforts. But if you do it in a logical story way, the practical way that I taught you, it will be very easy for you to remember. What was the first thing? Sir, ITC tobacco products got banned. Yani there were business conditions in the entity affecting the risk of material misstatement. Second thing, what happened? Sir, they give their factory on lease. Significant events or transaction during the period. Third thing, lease accounting, what they do? Consultations with the accountant. That was the third point. Come on. Yes. Concerns about the management consultation with other accountants on accounting and auditing matters. Clear, boss? Clear, sir. Then the discussions about the same during the appointment of the auditor about the accounting practices, auditing fees. And lastly, on the same matter, we had a disagreement. Significant matters on which there was a disagreement with the management. Are these 5 points clear? Sure, sir. Because let me tell you, these 5 points ICI can easily ask a 5 marker question on this. So these are the same 5 points given in your book. you can cover it like this. Clear, sir. Then we discussed another topic, circumstances affecting the form and content of audit report. What are these circumstances? Sir, the standard. As per SA 570, whenever you add a murg para means material uncertainty related to going concern. As per SA 701, cam para. 705, modified opinion. Modified opinion means DAKU. Disclaimer, adverse or qualified opinion. EOM or OM para as per SA 706 or other information para as per SA 720. So in whatever standards you add an additional para, 570, 701, 705, 706 or 720, these are the circumstances affecting the form and content of report. Okay, boss? Okay, sir. Now the standard is just about to get over. Last few topics. Auditors' communication with TCWG, especially for listed entities regarding the independence. What have we discussed about independence in audit till now? Sir, independence policy. What does the independence policy talk about? Sir, threats and safeguard. These are the same points you are going to find here. So first of all, you will have to give a statement to the TCWG, that is the audit committee of the entity, that we are independent. We are independent. That means engagement team and the firm personnel have complied with the ethical requirements of independence. We have complied with the ethical requirements of independence. Then talk about the threats, relationship and other matters between the firm and the entity that have a bear. Bear is a threat. Bear on the independence. Now this point we covered. This includes the total fees for audit and non-audit services charged by the firm or network firms to the entity or components controlled by the entity. Sir, why do we need to disclose the audit fees and non-audit fees? Sir, because if the non-audit fees is more than the audit fees, your independence will get affected, your objectivity will get affected. Okay, sir. And lastly, for the threats, you talk about the safeguards. Safeguards to eliminate the threat or reduce them to an acceptable level. So safeguards to eliminate or reduce the threats to an acceptable level. So the 3 points, we are independent. Statement that the engagement team and firm personnel are independent and have complied with the ethical requirement. Then talk about the threats. Instead of threats, they have written bear. Relationships and other matters that have a bear on independence, where you talk about the fees for audit and non-audit services by the firm to the entity or its components. And lastly, safeguards to eliminate or reduce the threats to an acceptable level. On this topic, I think we have question number 2 is a direct question which talks about significant difficulty ka example. We have already covered the farmer wala case. Question number 3 says, Shelly Goyal is offered the appointment of Root Limited, which is a listed company. Audit committee, that is the TCWG, wants her to justify the independence. She has ensured there are no threats to independence. She feels the requirement of audit committee is beyond the purview. Their demand is not valid. What is the opinion? Can the audit committee ask the communication for independence? Yes. So whatever 3 things I have taught you, those 3 things will form a part of the answer. So audit team requiring to justify independence is well within the purview. Clear, sir. And then at the end, what did we do? Sir, we discussed that this SA 260, it paves the way for SA 701. Sir, how come? Whatever matters auditor discussed with TCWG, these are significant matter. Out of these significant matters, whatever in his judgment are most significant in the financial statement audit, they will form a part of his report as a part of key audit matter. They will become the key audit matter. So on this thing, I think we have another topic in your book which says communication of key audit matters, timing and usefulness. So communication means what time should you communicate? Morning 6 a.m., afternoon 12 p.m., evening 6 p.m. No, sir. No, timing does not mean that. Timing means we should communicate on a timely basis. Timely basis means whatever are your preliminary views about the CAM, initial views, that you can communicate when you are discussing the planned scope and timing. Remember we discussed in the beginning what are the things to communicate? Scope and timing, significant findings. Yes, sir. So first you communicate the scope and timing, then you communicate the significant findings. So whatever are your initial views about the CAM, discuss them when you are communicating the scope and timing. Further discussion can be done with the significant findings. Is the timing wala part clear? Clear, sir. Sir, what about the usefulness? So usefulness is It will help you to elevate the practical challenges to have a robust two-way dialogue about the CAM. So it will remove all the practical challenges about the communication. Okay, sir. Plus, second point, TCWG will be aware about the CAM. So if they need any additional clarification, they can take from the auditor. Okay, sir. And how will the TCWG get to know about the CAM? You can share a draft audit report with them. Third thing, when I am discussing the CAM with TCWG before informing the user, it will make them feel good. They will feel very superior. Okay, we are getting to see CAM before the users. So it recognizes their important role in overseeing the financial reporting process and understand the basis for auditor's decision. So recognize their important role plus understand the basis for auditor's decision. And lastly, if TCWG wants for these matters like revenue recognition, they can give more disclosures in the financial statement. They can give more disclosures in the financial statement. So these are the 5 usefulness of the CAM communication: elevating the practical challenges, removing the practical challenges of having a two-way dialogue, making them aware about the CAM by providing a draft report. It makes them feel good, recognize their important role, know the basis for auditor decisions, and lastly, if they want to give disclosure, they can give enhanced disclosure. Okay, sir. With this, your whole essay 260 along with the concepts and questions gets done. Okay, sir. So thank you so much everyone for staying in this revision till the end. I hope it was useful for you. Do give it a like if you have not yet liked till now. Do comment your views, and yes, stay subscribed on this channel for more such videos. Keep studying with happiness, then only we progress. Keep going, all of you.